Welcome. Once again, poetry and conversations. Come on in. As I say, wipe your feet off at the door. Which meaning is, hit that like button as soon as you come on in. Say what up, though, as soon as you come on in. Even if it's the replay, definitely say what up, though, today. Because we celebrate 313 Day. Matter of fact, we switching hats, too. Taking it back. Yeah. D-Town, baby. Y'all know what it is. So that's what we doing. I might switch hats a couple times today. I don't tell you. But what up, though? 313, which was yesterday. Well, it's every day, shit. Well, it's March 3rd. I gotta research who actually came up with this. It's definitely a holiday here in Detroit. But who started that though? This made it 313 Day to where it's like all over the city we have damn near concerts, gatherings, pop-up shops, all types of events, everything. Just to represent Detroit, just to show Detroit love. March 13th, which was yesterday. And it's actually getting bigger and bigger as I just pay attention to all the different events and things that's starting to go on when people just engaging more, which is a beautiful thing. Let me turn this down. I'm gonna play it one more time in the background, but as I said, we're gonna let a couple more people come on in if they coming in and check it out to check it out live. But the live stream is cool too. I mean, it's all one of the same. It's all support as long as you see it. And I definitely appreciate the people that's been sharing the videos, like sending it to somebody else, hitting the like button, all that. All that helps. So, appreciate you. Of course, I gotta start to show off with a poem or two. Started off with some poetry. I got a couple of different pieces. I definitely got this one that's Detroit related that I call Love-Hate Relationship. It's actually a poem that's in my book also that you can purchase. The link is in the description. You can download it to your phone. It's a piece I wrote called Love-Hate Relationship. I think I'm gonna do that piece and then we're gonna talk about all the different things that's going on here in Detroit and how we on the uprise, especially business-wise and the economy, all that. I don't know about y'all, but I'm trying to put in work. I ain't gonna say trying, I'm putting in work. I don't want to get left back. I don't want to be one of those people that was here and saw everything change and had to go because we couldn't afford to live here no more, or the city just got out of hand and everybody from other cities and states got a piece of everything, and now we forced to not even want to have fun or partake in activities in our own community no more. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be on the outside looking in. Honestly, I remember when the Super Bowl came here, I remember how some of us, me included, was kind of feeling just left out a little bit. And when I say left out, I don't mean the fact that left out as far as the sight to where you can't just do everything, but it just felt like you know what's downtown. You know the whole energy was in the city that it's money up in here, and it's people from all over the world in our city, and inflation just was up everything. The price to get in clubs, the prices for parking, the prices for restaurants, the prices for everything from New Center on down was just through the roof. And of course, if you're gonna partake in the fun and you want to really, really have fun, you want it to be at the best spots. I mean, it's the closest thing you're gonna get to just being out of town at the Super Bowl, but it's in our own city. So I just remember that year we were just trying to just find some place to go just to say that we partaked in the party and was out hanging at one of the hot spots. And you had to get in where you fit in. That's all I can say. You got to get in where you fit in. If your money like this is where you at. If your money popping off, you with the elites or whatever. And I mean, you gonna hear about what's what, and you gonna know where your bracket at and where you stand at when that shit come to your town. And that's what I'm saying about Detroit. There's so much going on here. There's so many different people opening businesses here. There's so many entertainers with they eye on Detroit, sneaking in Detroit, backdooring everything, building offices here, and putting people in the different spots and elements, hot spots, and making hot spots, and just knowing what Detroit is turning into over the last couple of years and the future plan of Detroit. I mean, all that. I'm talking about from comedy to rap to everything, all types of entertainment. Detroit is just on a just bigger move. It's making noise. I mean, y'all can talk all that shit y'all want to too, but even with the Tubi movies, when you think of Tubi, you thinking of Detroit. That's why they keep wanting to say ghetto movies, but they basically wanted to say that Detroit shit in Detroit movies. People laughing at that shit or whatever. You can say what you want to say. But shit, Detroit is representing Tubi and got that shit moving. All these people here that's acting and flourishing and making movies, they keeping that shit in motion. When they did that big commercial at the Super Bowl, when you saw Tubi, the first thing you was thinking was hood movies, which is equal to Detroit. Detroit got a lot going on, and like I say, you want to be a part of it, you got to get in the mix. Shit, you got to get in where you fit in. And with days like 313 that's celebrating Detroit, it's an opportunity for more people to come together and be amongst each other and see the who's who and different movers and shakers. That's just the way life is. You have to really get out and participate. And that's one thing I've definitely been learning over the years also. I mean, there's so many ways to cut the cloth, don't get me wrong, because what might work for you might not work for the next person. You have to hustle and move how you move. So strategy is strategy. And whatever the industry you in, be around those people. But Detroit is on the move though. Let me get into this first piece that I said I was gonna get into about 3 minutes ago that I said. It's this piece I wrote called Love-Hate Relationship. And it's definitely synonymous with how I feel about Detroit. It's like a love-hate relationship. Listen to me. I love my people, but I hate these conditions. I love the sounds, but I hate to listen. I love the streets, but I hate the greed. I love to want, but I hate to need. The killings, rapes, kidnapping, robberies are all the things that the evil do. I speak for the victims, the silent, the ones that it's happened to. Do you love the ghetto? Do you embrace the hood? If you left and never came back, would you be misunderstood? Is the ghetto a condition that is just a state of mind? Because on the darkest day, a kid can find the simplest way to shine. See, I'm amazed by these people on these corners that we run. This pretty perimeter of Detroit. It's where I'm from. The love-hate relationship. Snap, 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 snaps. The love-hate relationship. I mean, that's how I feel about Detroit. That's how I feel about my city. It's a lot of bullshit to go down here, but it's definitely a wonderful place if you find a way to engage and enjoy yourself and you stay away from the bullshit. You gotta just know how to move in Detroit. I mean, for all y'all out of towners that's probably watching this video and you hear so many things about Detroit and how bad it is, and they call it Gotham City. You got all types of nicknames for Detroit. And of course, the reputation do precede itself all over the globe, honestly. I mean, for many different reasons. I mean, all the way from Motown to street legends to the cars and, you know, Fords and being the Motor City, which we are. I mean, all those different things. Reputation is things that first thing to come to mind when you think of Detroit. And they're all true, and they all play a big part. I mean, it's a factor. When you just think of Detroit, or in hip hop, of course, you think of an Eminem, all that. You think of Motown. Matter of fact, oh shit, I gotta make sure I get this poem up too before. Ah shit, I hope I remember it. If not, I gotta find the paper. I definitely got a poem about Motown. And since we celebrating Detroit today, 313, I definitely gotta get that poem a piece off. I had the opportunity in like 2019 to be a part of a competition. I was one of the finalists in the competition. That was for spoken word, and you had to make a poem about Motown. And it was hundreds of people that, you know, got involved. I don't know the exact number, but it was enough shit. I wanted 10 finalists. So I did good enough. I really don't care too much for competitions as much, but I definitely love the experience, you know, because I'm really not a slam poet. I'm not a slam poet. I mean, my style is a little bit more laid back, but even though I do come with more of that when I'm on stage and performing, it is a difference than me just sitting here talking. And even though rap talk is my persona, per se, I really don't care for too much for competitions and stuff like that, you know. I'm just gonna do what I do when I get there, game my fan by fan, audience by audience, and leave my mark every time. I mean, that's my whole ordeal. Anyway, get back to what I was talking about, as far as Detroit and the things that we known for. Let's try to overlook the bullshit, getting past that. We don't have a black mayor right now, but we still a predominantly, I say we're a predominantly black city still, but we still get represented as a whole, even though we're not represented by a black mayor. Dougie, he doing his thing. I heard some good things, honestly, about the State of the Union when the mayor speak about plans and things that he got going on. I did hear a couple of good things that's in the works or flourishing that he spoke on. But again, I didn't watch the actual episode myself. But you know, word of mouth is definitely what go and moves the city. And we the people of the city, so we the ones that make it work. And definitely was one of the good things I heard. Now, if somebody out there who saw it, and if this is wrong, please put it in the comments if it's some bullshit. But I did hear that with some of the places, just a lot of houses and homes being built in Detroit. I mean, you come here from downtown on up, it's a lot of condos and apartments. I'm talking about just popping up and definitely being built. So one of the things I heard is that some of them is going off of just your income. You know, it's not just basing these off of just big stupid ass prices just because they new and they in a nice area to where people who got money can just straight up just get them. Even though if you got money, your money gonna talk. You can get the shit. I mean, we all know money still talk, whatever. but basically for the people that live here, just because basically in a nutshell, just because it's new places and new shit being built here, that don't mean that it's not for us Detroiters. Like you can get in some of these homes and just go by your income, and you can just still just be in the same place with somebody who probably is paying that 2,000, 3,000, but it's going by your income. You might be in there paying 13 for it or whatever. But it is what it is. I mean, the people move in the city. I mean, you spend your money, you enjoy. Detroit is like that, especially in the summertime. In the summertime, you can have some fun. And I ain't gonna even front with you. You got a couple of dollars, you can have some fun. You can make a good time out of pretty much nothing if you want to be creative on a good summer day, a good summer weekend, because it'll be a lot of outdoor activities. I mean, you can always jump online, jump on shit like Eventbrite or just Google and to see what's going on. But you have to just be open-minded to do a lot of different things. I mean, if you a hood nigga, you gonna keep doing hood shit. That's why I be trying to expand my brain and just do somewhat of different shit sometime, or just create something out of the simplest situation. You know, like I say in the summertime here, because the food definitely good here. The food be popping in so many different soul food restaurants, black owned spots. And the crazy thing, I should have a fucking list that's be giving out names, all types of shit. But like I say, it's so many different. It's just an aura here in Detroit when you just out, and it's getting to the point. See, here's the thing. This one I noticed that Detroit was definitely on the move. When I started going downtown more and more often, and I just see all types of nationalities just walking. I mean, just walking with their head up like this. I'm looking like, he ain't from here. She ain't from here. You know, and the first thing they doing too, they going by that Joe Louis fist. You ride downtown, I mean, cause I got a gig. I mean, so I work too. So I had to pass it like every morning. And especially on the weekends when I pass it, the Joe Louis fist, which is, y'all know the fist, is monumental. I mean, it's like any given morning right now, if you go down there and you pass that fist, you're going to see people sitting on it, people taking pictures in front of it. I'm talking about all type of nationalities. I'm talking about people just lined up. If it's especially in the summertime, if it's a nice, good, sunny morning, I'm talking about early, before they know before they know everybody start coming out and wilding out and everybody moving around, it be people up there just taking pictures in front of the Joe Louis fist, and you know they tourists. I had to make sure I get that word right. I didn't want to say the other T word. They tourists. So you know they in town just to enjoy and see. And another thing too about Detroit, which I like to tell anytime I got a friend or somebody from out of town, or I'm kicking it with somebody from out of town and they come here and we just talking, or especially if we downtown. I always, and I think as Detroiters too, sometimes we take this for granted. Not really take it for granted, but I think we kind of forget sometimes. And I always try to find a way just to, whoever the person is I'm just talking to, I just do this point right over there. And you'd be like, you know, that's a whole nother country over there. You know, I'm talking about Canada is just right there. Ontario, that's a whole nother country. I mean, just seconds away from our site if you down by the river and you just looking over there. I mean, we enjoying our space in Detroit, of course, but there's a lot of out-of-towners, they all don't know. They know it's close, but sometimes they can be right down, maybe at a Shane Park concert or something, with Aretha now. Aretha, oh man, she represented for Detroit, so cold too. So they can be down at the Riri, and they could just be looking at a concert, but whoever on stage performing, out of town, if they don't know, and if you don't tell them, they can just ease past who on stage and just look over there, and they looking at a whole nother country. I mean, it's just little, this is just little intel like that. You just drive and it's a whole nother country right there. People living under whole other rules and laws and everything. But Detroit definitely got a lot to offer. So 313, I noticed it's getting bigger. It's starting to be more events. And actually, I ain't get out of here none of that shit. I'm talking crazy. It was kind of cold. Not too much that was a big excuse for me. But I know last year I went down to an event. I actually went down to a pop up shop, and I went to another spot for 313 day. And there was a lot of people engaging and moving around, and I had a performance like earlier that week. So it kind of all coincided because it's like some of the people that I met from the performers, they invited me out to an event for that Sunday, that following Sunday. That was a 313 day. So I definitely know it felt on a Sunday last year. So, but being this year, it felt on a Monday. Maybe that kind of slowed up a couple of things, but it still was some events though I heard about, but I ain't partake too much. So that's why I dedicated the show to it. To 313, celebrating Detroit. That's crazy. March the 13th. And we're gonna look that up too though. We're gonna research who thought of it and started it. Because it's definitely getting bigger. I mean they even have shoes they dedicate to it. I remember they had the Adidas. Was it last year? One of them years. I noticed like every year it's starting to be like a different shoe that dedicated to it too. Because definitely Adidas is kind of synonymous with a lot of 80s Detroit style and the different hood crews that was getting money, the Wildy Eyes and all these different crews and that was getting money back in the days. So Adidas just always just been branded with Detroit to an extent, especially for the 80s. In the 90s kind of was the Air Force Ones and stuff like that. So I guess you got 80s, it was the Adidas, the 90s, the Air Force Ones, and so on and so on. So they kind of just come, go away, come back, but it's still all represent Detroit. So somebody always usually every day, usually every year around that time, one of them brands make a signature shoe that be dedicated to the 313 day, which is March the 13th. Celebrating Detroit. On that note, let me get into another piece. See, we talking about street shit for a minute. Y'all do know these streets don't love nobody though. That's why we gonna try to get away from all that. You don't understand? I mean, that's what we really gotta get to. Get away from all the bullshit and keep it positive in motion, man. Because it's so many ways to get deterred being here also. Because you can get frustrated. It's easy to find trouble here too also. But you just gotta just know how to navigate it. It's like it's a big town, but it's a small town too. If you in some shit, it's easy to find you. I mean, cause it's like this. It's like if you did some bullshit and you a West Sider, more than likely they try to hide East, or that's even suburb East. And if you on some bullshit, you from the East Side, they trying to fly west or be in the West burbs or whatever. It's iffy, but it's bullshit. But when it get times like this, like around this time, when it start warming up like this, now this when you gotta be careful around this time of year. Take a week or so off. Them first little couple of weekends when it get hot and shit, when it get like about 60 degrees and stuff like this, lay low. I mean that's what I do every year. Them first little couple of weekends when it get real hot, don't even partake in all those bullshit because somebody gonna get popped up. I mean, it's crazy. I ain't trying to put bad energy and bad news out there, but it just happens here every year. Them first little couple of weekends, it's gonna be some bullshit, and you don't want to get caught up in it. Them first little couple of weekends here in Detroit, at some event or something, when it just warm up and them 60 degrees, is it? Motherfuckers, everybody outside, people running into people they probably been looking for since the winter time, and they just out when the energy a little bit up. And they off them libations, like you know what I'm saying? Not to mention all these exotic ass drugs and shit, all the bullshit. So it's like I said, them first couple weekends, just fall back. Just be at the crib and just sit on the porch, see that shit. Just chill on out, cause you got all summer, so don't even rush it. So anyway, let me get into this one piece I wrote. This piece I wrote called "The Streets Don't Love Nobody," which you all should know by now. Listen to me. These streets don't love nobody. Why you think they always repeating that it's lonely at the top? Nigga, the feds is coming, the bitches is running, these little niggas on the block want your spot. That drunk conversation on intimate info with that whole turn states evidence. Voice recording, hood extortion. Now let's see how much time you ready to spend. You see, some ain't built for this. Thought it was easy. Caught a case and now find out that it's hard. Playing mind games with vets and you a rookie in these streets, nigga, you could have been better off just getting a job. Hell, you put in the same hours. Second and third shift, taking a life risk with no benefits. Doing things you never did before and treated like a hoe and thinking the streets don't know that you a snitch. Nigga, stop that shit. And in the end, your friends gonna rob you probably. See, all these hood stories in the same. These streets don't love nobody. These streets don't love nobody. Snap, 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 snap. They really don't. Y'all know that. You should know that. They really don't. But I tell you what will love you, who will love you. Doing good. Passing out blessings. Having the type of energy to keep moving and having a legacy. Having something to pass on when you finish. When you done. I mean, how about that? How about that? I mean, for real. I don't care if it be in the cleaners, restaurant, whatever it is. Selling donuts on the corner. I don't give a fuck. There's a lot going on here in Detroit. You ain't gonna get left back. Put them moves down. For real though. I definitely got a deep thought. You gotta excuse me, because I really just see the future of that shit, man. How this shit is on the move and how you gotta get in where you fit in. Yeah, Mike Epps about to just open a comedy club here. Angela Yee got businesses here. Studios being built here. There's a couple of names that's been floating around, all types of people attached to stuff. And y'all know how a lot of people do who got real money, how they do it. They don't even put their name on shit. They just be a silent partner. That's how you stay away from all them lawsuits and all that shit sometimes. Some of y'all probably, some of us, probably be frequenting spots that don't even know that it's owned by somebody we might watch and see every day. or places that's coming here. Cause somebody would know, like, oh damn, Shaq on that. Oh, let me. When I slip and fall, oh, we going straight to the source. But you never know. You never know who's watching too. That's why you have to just keep working. That's why I tell myself that also, especially with the genre that I'm in. I have to keep working, like no matter what, no matter results or numbers, you have to keep working. That's why I appreciate each and every one of you that watch these videos or that share them or that send them to somebody else that talk about it or whatever. I feel the energy when I see y'all face to face. And the people that I don't know everybody that watch these videos. I don't know everybody who write down a comment in these videos. That's expansion. That's how I know it's moving. And being here from Detroit, I want to just push it out there. Let's just have good vibes and energy and come up with just more of that. I appreciate y'all. Celebrating 313, that's what we doing, that's what we did. It's my little mark, my 2 cents. Y'all welcome to come to Detroit. We welcome y'all with open arms. Just know how to move, be positive, and just say what up, though. You can blend in like that a little bit. You'll be surprised how many doors that can get you in just by saying that. Just be like, what up, though? They be like, oh, you know a little something, even if you from Cali or wherever. And you from Chicago, but you walking to somewhere down the street and you say, what up, though? Or you greet somebody with that. They gonna give you that second eye. You might can blend in someplace and get into a couple of doors. You probably ain't gonna get in. Cause we can spot the out of towners. We can spot how y'all move, how y'all dress. Sometimes it might be a little hard with certain people from certain cities because we blended into a lot of other cities too also. But when y'all come here, we be peeping. So, but it's all love. Celebrating 313, March 13th. We'll get with y'all. Get with y'all in a minute though. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more poetry and spoken word. Get the apparel, intelligence, sexy, Raptalk, poetry, all that. I guess I can put this song back on now for a minute. Told y'all flipping hats. It is what it is. It is what it is, though. Raptalk. Get with y'all Thursday. We're going to do some artists against another artist. Matter of fact, put in the comments so you might want to see it. Who we're going to talk about Thursday. That'll work, too. I'll get with y'all in a minute. Raptalk.